The Plumbing Marketing Profits Podcast. Interviews with million-dollar-plus plumbing and HVAC business owners on how they market and grow their companies in today's economy. Hear directly from the most successful leaders in your business and discover what they are doing to keep their phone ringing, trucks running, and businesses booming. With your host, Josh Nelson.
Well, hey, this is Josh Nelson with Plumbing and HVAC SEO, and I'm super excited on this episode of the Plumbing and HVAC Marketing Podcast to be interviewing John Verhoff from Plumbing Nerds. They run an amazing plumbing company serving the Southwest Florida area. They've got a great operation, about 10 trucks, 17 employees, doing about $2 million per year. On this interview, John shares how he's up almost $800,000 in revenue year over year. Some of the cool things he's doing from a marketing perspective, leveraging Google local service ads, aggressive online marketing, social media. Share some amazing insights, so check it out, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it.
Hey, John, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing, Allison?
I'm doing good. So as we talked about previously, I'm interviewing today for our newsletter, our Engage newsletter. And then, of course, we're going to use this audio for our clients and future clients to come back to if they ever have any questions and they want to get to know you and your business a little more. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about Plumbing Nerds, the background, how long you've been in business, approximate revenue? You don't have to get too much in detail, but number of trucks and employees, all of that good stuff.
I'd love to, and thanks for having me. So Plumbing Nerds, we've been in business for a little over 12 years. We are located in Southwest Florida. We are currently running 10 trucks, roughly. We have 17 employees. Last year we did about 1.9, and this year we're budgeting to do about 2.7.
Wow. That's awesome. And so then I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that later, but can you tell us how you started this business?
Sure. Well, kind of funny how things work out. I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio, and my wife graduated 12 years ago, or a little over 12 years ago now, and as a nurse. And part of her sign-on bonus and moving bonus to move down to Southwest Florida was used to help start the business. And if you recall what 12 years ago was, it was around 2007, not realizing what the economy was going to do soon after, it wasn't the best time to start a new commercial residential plumbing company. But that's pretty much how we got down here.
Wow, that's very interesting. So then, so 2007, you're a year away from the recession, and then how did that work out for you guys?
So again, because of her moving bonus and her sign-on bonus, it allowed us to put a good foundation to start the business. Once the recession, about a year into the business doing commercial work, which we did really well, and we were really busy even right out the gate. Once it did start to hit our area, which by the way, this Southwest Florida was one of the hardest hit areas in the United States. But once it did hit this area, I kind of knew that we were going to have to take the business a different route. Construction was slim, if any, in the area. And the great thing about service work is that water heaters and toilets, they just don't know that there's a recession. So, I knew that in the back of my head that there was going to be plenty of work in that arena. So started to brand and move my business in that direction.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, we do know that you guys get a lot of reviews, a lot of online reviews. So is there anything that you either tell your technicians to try to get those reviews, or maybe even tell the clients in order to get reviews? I know that that's a struggle for a lot of people in the industry.
So reviews are uber important. Outside of what our message that we're trying to speak to our customer, we don't get to preach that message to them if we don't have the reviews to entice them to want to look further into what our company is and what we do. We do use a platform for our reviews, which is Podium. They've been pretty good to us. We've used them now for a little over 6 months, and I do like the platform. But outside of that, Allison, the biggest thing that I found to make the largest difference in the amount of reviews to get is just continually letting our technicians, reminding the technicians to ask for the review. Just simply ask the customer for the review. And I know that when they do that, we get a significant amount more, a larger response when they do.
Awesome. And so then kind of going to the technicians, there are some clients who have even tried giving their technicians a bonus if they were to get reviews. Is that something that you do, or do you just rely on them to do their part?
Well, so I'm actually in a transition phase right now. I do have my office keeping track of every review on every review site that we have, and going down the list, Angie's List, Google, Better Business Bureau, eLocal, Home Advisor. I mean, I literally have my office keeping track of how many reviews on each of those sites and what technicians those are attributed to. And I was doing that, and I still do that today for many reasons, but it is to incentivize the technicians to be able to compliment them, to share the wins is what we, those are wins for us, to be able to share the wins with the teams and celebrate with them when they get those type of reviews. So again, I guess to the transition is I used to use that, and we used to do throw to win. So if they had 5 or more reviews, 5 to 10 reviews, I'd let them throw one dart, and whatever they landed on, they would get it. So if they hit a bullseye, they'd get $100 and so on and so forth. But we're in a transition phase. I'm stopping doing the individual, because what I realize, and I may be wrong, but what I realize is that, although the technician is the one in the field that is talking to the customer, asking for the review, it actually is the entire team here that helps produce that review.
Definitely.
So what we're doing now is, although we're still keeping track of them individually, we're still going to celebrate them individually, read them out loud on our weekly meetings. But what we are going to do now is actually reward the entire company. And we are going to put a goal to hit. And then once we hit that goal, we'll celebrate. We'll get a food truck here. We'll, maybe, go to a gun range or whatever that is, whatever everybody would like to do.
Right.
We're just trying to do something a little different.
That's awesome. That's great. And so that kind of leads me into my next question, which is, how do you keep morale up? And I'm assuming that obviously has a lot to do with it. But is there anything else that you can maybe, any advice that you can give to anybody? I know that right now in this industry, it's hard to find people who want to work. It's hard to find technicians, and then it's also hard to keep them. So what is your strategy? I mean, running 10 trucks, that's a lot of technicians that you have under your belt, and I'm sure that's, that comes with a lot of office staff as well. So what can you tell anyone who may be struggling with retention or struggling with just keeping morale up in the office?
Well, I'm going to be the first to admit we have turnover. I would assume like most companies, but I do also have quite a few employees that have been here quite some time. And what my belief is, and this may be wrong, it is just a belief, but I believe just complimenting them and letting them know when they do things well, I think is a really good start. Most people and humans in general like to know when they're doing well, and it's not always about a raise. It's not always about more money. It's not always about a bonus. A lot of times it's just about the recognition that they are doing something well, whether it's a review, whether it's a really large sales week, whatever that is. I think just patting them on the back and letting them know that they did something really well, and especially if you could do that in front of the entire team, I think really goes a long ways, at least from my experience.
Yes, I think you're right there. I think it has a lot more to do than just signing the check, but really creating an environment where that person feels safe and nurtured in the point where they want to perform and kind of excel. So, okay, that's a good one. All right, so I have some questions regarding your marketing. Of course, you've been a client with us for some time now, but is there any other forms of marketing that you're doing to help bring in some of those leads?
The best marketing we're doing right now is Google Local Services, GLS. Right now, I think we're getting almost 9 times ROI on it. So that's definitely in the top outside of organic and SEO and the work that you guys do for us. Angie's List has always been a big one for us. We've used Angie's List since 2012. I believe that they were really the company to start the reviews and making those popular and enticing people to put reviews in and start looking in that direction for, I guess, for lack of better words, and what your neighbor, a referral from your neighbor. So they've always been a really good marketing platform for us, but they have been sliding. And I don't know if that's because of all these other new companies coming out, emerging companies for lead. But my ROI has every month over month has been losing some ground. So it's something I'm definitely visiting next quarter.
Okay, good. So Google Local Services, 9-time return on investment. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I have clients who love it. Some clients don't particularly like the program, but it looks like it's working for you. I mean, at $25 a lead, you really can't find anything like that elsewhere. And a lot of people come to Google for anything, for all of their questions. So the fact that they're offering that service is great.
I agree.
Okay, cool. So a couple questions coming into this digital age. Are you using social media for your business?
So it's interesting. I haven't for the longest time up until recently. I haven't really felt like it was I guess a thing, but I realize now that it is a thing, and I see how my family. I have 2 older daughters, 15 and 9, and I see how they use social media, and my wife. And although I don't use it often, I realize the importance of it and how marketing is different now. It's different than it was 5 years ago. It's definitely different than it was 15 years ago. So I have been working more into the social platforms, Instagram, Facebook. We post outside of the posts you guys assist us with and help us with, which by the way, I love them. Outside of those, our office staff actually puts in a couple additional ones a week. We don't do any paid social campaigns as of now, but it's definitely something on the radar for possibly the end of this quarter, or maybe the beginning of next year to explore. But definitely something I think everybody needs to be more aware of. If they're not currently doing it now, definitely need to.
Yes. So I mean, paid social is such a huge avenue. I mean, it's up and coming. It's been around for some time now, but I think especially now that Facebook now owns Instagram, I mean, you can really dial into the type of person that you're coming after. So that's, a homeowner within a certain age group, whether that's, a single mom or anybody who's just at stay at home remotely working. So it's pretty cool that we can use these profiles on their Facebook to target these specific people and really like brand plumbing nerds, right? Isn't that crazy?
It's amazing. It really gets your target audience that you're looking for and almost gets it to the T, and it's really just amazing.
Yes. So then with that, are you using email marketing?
We do. We do actually a campaign you guys actually do for us. It's you guys do our monthly newsletter with some advertised maybe a couple discounts or coupons or something we do monthly. We have done some campaigns before to where if somebody hits our newsletter on a water quality, they click one of the links on, let's say, a water quality ad, well, it'll actually, it'll trigger 2, 3, or even up to 6 other emails to, give them more information about whatever that link was. Obviously hoping to put them in the funnel to get them to call us.
Right.
So,
Following up on those leads, nurturing those leads.
That's right.
Amazing. Perfect. Okay. So then, do you have any additional nuggets of wisdom or insight that you'd like to share to any business owners, whether they're just starting, whether they're looking to invest into marketing, whether it's other, channels outside of the business? It doesn't just have to be, about digital marketing.
I guess a couple ideas and thoughts. One I've already touched on. I just want to stress the importance of reviews. I believe anything under, and this is my opinion, but anything under a 4.6 in any type of platform, I think you definitely need to look and have a better idea of what your customers are trying to tell you. It's definitely, in my eyes, are the customers are trying to help you and trying to tell you what's wrong in your business. And obviously, I would hope you're in business to make sure that you want to service those customers. So I would say definitely take a look at where you're at on all platforms. Make sure that you maintain a high review rating, because that is going to be the number one driver no matter what campaign you use. And then I guess the last piece, would just be, if I could, if you don't mind, just share one of my favorite quotes with you.
Of course.
It's a kind of a plumbing quote, but it's, life is like a sewer. You get out of it what you put in it. So
Definitely.
I guess that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for taking time today for this, quick interview. I'm looking forward to typing this up and sharing it with our client base, and as well as anybody who may be listening in. I know that you as a pioneer not a pioneer, but a person in the industry who has many years under their belt, someone with 10 trucks and someone in a market that's pretty difficult. It's very nice to hear from you. And again, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, I hope you got amazing value from that interview. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on how to more effectively market your plumbing, HVAC, or home services business online, go to plumbingmarketing.net. There you'll find interviews just like this and the opportunity to schedule a time with us to just kind of talk about your business and how we can help you implement similar strategies in your business. So plumbingmarketing.net, head over there now, and I'll talk to you soon.